Hello guys, and welcome to a new Star Division 2 video today by myself, Vulcan, and Attack Power.
Hey all, hope you're having a fantastic day.
In this video we have for you Game 3 of a best of 5 between Insha and Gonzo in the grand final of the Division 1 Season 9 playoffs of the Star Division 2 League. Today they are playing on Krupa, and on our left in the red team, playing on the allied side, we have Insha, using the 84th Guards Rifles and the Maverick deployment type. And on our right in the blue team, playing on the Axis side, we have Gonzo using the Gruppe Harteneck and the balanced deployment type. So currently, things 1-1. Gonzo taking back a quick second game. Insha really having to fight hard for the first one. So that gives us nice prospects for 5 games. We'll have to see where this goes. But what do you think about these divisions, Attack Power?
Yeah, two solid ones. Gonzo on Harteneck, which is a very strong division these days. It's got its weaknesses, lack of AA, of course, being the most obvious one. But very strong, especially with the Reitjäger, with their Molotovs and stuff from a few patches ago. So this division, very solid, can definitely do the whole thing. Insha, 84 Strelki, I'm pretty sure this just got a buff. Am I correct? Didn't they get something new?
Not entirely sure.
I feel like they got a card of like ISU 152s or something. I'm trying to remember, but they got some sort of buff. And this division has been buffed several times recently, not specifically, but just by the general Soviet buffs. So it has started to come into its own a little bit. Not my first choice personally, but a lot of these Soviet tank divisions don't fall into my personal favorite category, but definitely a solid division. It can get things done. What I really love about this is the balanced out of Gonzo. And the only thing I love more is you hitting that like and subscribe button for both of our channels. So yeah, really fun to see a player here in Division 1 actually play a little bit of balanced and get out of the Maverick on Maverick mirror. So obviously why? Because it's Krupa and it's probably going to be a long game. So balance feels like the good choice here.
I think that was so smooth. People didn't even hear you say it.
That's perfect. It's just subconsciously in their mind now. Just
all right.
Subscribe.
Well, the 84th, one of those Soviet divisions, I think that gets IS-2 1944s. So gonna be pretty nice. I would suspect the third got banned after the last game. But let's have a quick look at what's going down. Guards going on the top with the SG-43 and the Avtos for Insha. Further down, we've got an SG, double guards. Even further down, we have the PTRS, 250mm mortars, and the Sapele Komroti, got some guards, Sapele Rocks. On the bottom side, PTRS, 50mm mortars, 45mm Sapele Rocks. We got Avtos in there, guards, and an SU-76 following up, and an F-22 artillery piece at the start.
Interesting.
For Gonzo, we've got Ersatz MG, Jaeger MG, we got the Pak 40 Grenführer, we got the VK901s, and the Marder 3 with the Hasserok. We've got another Hasserok and an Ersatz MG for the middle with the Hasserok, Panzergrens for the bottom side with the Reitjäger, Hasserok, Pak 40s, VK, another Marder 3. Gonzo most likely going to be going for the defensive setup early on because he is the balanced player.
Yeah, the other weakness of Harteneck that's important to note is they have a hard time killing super heavy armor. Those 1944s, those IS-2s and things are really hard to kill with Harteneck. You don't have very much that actually kills those off.
A nice unload here by Gonzo. Notice the PTRS is getting into position, didn't cede any transports to those. But these 50mm mortars in position from Insha, nice to see those being used. They are really useful in the Soviet divisions because they have the 800-meter range. So he will be able to use those to indirectly suppress the infantry of Gonzo, allowing his infantry to move forwards, the Avtos Sapele Rocks combo here, to kill off these Reitjäger or just surrender them.
Yeah, and with two of them, they do actually they kill off a guy or two every burst, every volley, and that builds up as the game goes on. It really does. Sapele Rocks, though, very capable of handling themselves even without the 50mm mortars.
Yeah, both players here at the start not really doing too much on the top and mid. Looks like Insha is going to probe with one of his guards DP though. On the bottom side, we're seeing the 13-11 due to this contested flag across the bridge. The Sapele Rocks and the Avtos engaging the Reitjäger, disintegrating them on the spot with the help of the pin from the 50mm mortar there. Hasserok on the bottom side trying to peek forwards to provide some engagement onto the Sapele Komroti, get rid of that leadership, but nice machine gun fire coming across the river there to pin them down and force them back. Panzergren's now up against Guards DP. Will the veterancy be enough for the Guards DP against the MG42s? We'll have to wait and see.
Probably not. We did see the VK901 forced off by the Gavardia DP. It was trying to get some cheeky shots there. Now, double guard DP, that will win for sure against the Grenadiers. Along with the Sapodidox, yeah, your Panzergrens are going down. We do see Insha did make a little poke here with his Gavardia DP. Those did get caught out, though, by the Hussadox here in the central north. And even further north, Insha making a poke over the river here, setting up in that little forest in front of the north town.
Yeah, I think it's important for Insha here to be doing this so that he can find the weaknesses in Gonzo's line, because he is the Maverick player. He is going to want to find an advantage towards the end of phase B. So kind of setting up for that by finding out what's where is a good idea. The double guards on the top side should be able to single out a Hazardok squad, but that 20mm vehicle, the VK, will make things difficult.
Yeah, that'll swing it back around in a hurry. And of course, there's a second Hussadock now in range. Now, the Guardia DP might kill this. They just got a shooter killed.
Yeah, the shooter kill is the perfect crit to get in that situation, and it's taking more and more damage. TU2F coming in, recon on the bottom side to see what's up.
Ooh, Reitjäger go down in the transport, and they're dead. They fully dead from that 45mm. That's a big kill. They are 25 points, and just having less of those in the woods does matter.
IL-237 coming in, looking for the kill onto the Marder. Instead, can only see the VK, goes for the kill, finds the VK and the transport. Beautiful strike there from Insha. Wonderful micro to make sure that he got that truck as well. He's assigned that so late.
Yeah, that was really impressive. That was kind of lucky, too. One thing to note, you have to make sure you turn off the bombs when you're trying to pull this maneuver off, because otherwise it'll just bomb the target. It won't use the AT guns it has. VK901 popping back into combat here. Ooh, T-34 with a gun jam from the Su-76. Big loss there.
Yep, that T-34 might go down, or the bounce from the follow-up shot. This VK is getting hit by a significant mortar fire. Will help pin down the guard's DP. But 45 is getting on target. Should finish off the VK. Never mind, it's firing at the Panzergrens with its HE instead.
I hate when it fakes you. I hate when you get faked out like that. You're like, it's doing it. It's not doing it.
I know. It needs to move forwards, basically, to see that. But the VK's actually moved back and into line of sight of the IL-237, which is going for the T-34 as well.
Oh, my goodness.
He has line of sight due to the TU2F. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful use of this IL-2 so far. And honestly, if Gonzo's not careful, the IL-2 could just come round and kill those like AA pieces before they unload. That would be devastating.
Because 20 mils are horrendous, and they're just tickling this IL-2. Like, look, he's laughing. Ha ha, that's funny. That feels funny.
Is that what the pilot says?
Yep, that's what he said. That's how I feel every time I see 20 mils shoot at like an IL-2 or something. It's a legitimate joke. Like, they don't even suppress it.
Yeah, the TU2F should have no problems either. It's not even getting suppressed by that 20mm fire.
Oh my God. And this is one of the big issues with Harteneck is you have these 20 mils and you have one card of SDKFZ 7.1s. Now, the 7.1s are fantastic, but if you bring them in A phase, you only get 2, and that means you often want to bring them in B phase, so you have to first survive all of A phase with this garbage.
Yeah, so the IL-237 was given the order to do an attack on the Marder 3, but it did the loop thing, where it wanted to go round again. And the TU2F went deep, and since the IL-237 didn't come in, it's actually taking all of the damage here, and over time those 20 mils are going to get more accurate. And that was enough shots on target to kill the TU2F. Does he get a second of those?
I am not sure. We have another IL-237 coming up north. This one still has bombs on, though, so it looks like, yeah, he's going for the bombing run here on the Erzatz MG. Yeah, the 20 mils, they do kill stuff eventually. It's especially 4 of them. They will shoot things down. It just they will not stop a bombing run for the most part.
Yeah, and Gonzo in this case has brought them in with the 1 vet so that he can get them to triple vet potentially if he has leaders nearby. Although we're probably not seeing that just yet. Oh no, never mind. He is actually bringing up a Grenadier for the flak specifically. So he will get at least 2 vet out of his 20 mils, although one of them is currently being hit by the F-22. Although the shots were generally off target.
I was going to say
2 flags in favor of Insha right now, which is nice. 14-10. Just needs to find one more. Get that 15-9 tick in as a Maverick player against balance.
Yeah, that is the tough part on this map, is finding that 3rd flag. Unless you make some massive breakthrough, it's really hard to pick up a 15-9.
Yeah, bottom side engagement still carrying on the right Jaeger. keeping back the Sapelli rocks for now. Guards that made it across the river so far, getting very low on number. Sapelli rocks falling back across the river. I think you could potentially find a flag maybe up north on the top side here. Especially with this like salient growing with the guards, he might be able to get more infantry across there. The only issue with moving infantry across the river is that they're not really going to have AT support. So units like the T-34s or even the 20mm vehicles can like easily deal with these guards units generally speaking in these situations.
Well, there's other issue here too. Every time he hits fallback, they're crossing the river into the line of sight of all these weapons here in the forest down south. So these Gavardia DP are getting absolutely wrecked. We can see how good these right Jaegers are with their Molotovs, killing off this Sapelli rocks quite easily, honestly. And this is a deadly unit in the woods, but not against these guys.
Yeah, the Molotov always fires first. So Molotov's very, very good against flaming units naturally. You just got to make sure that you do not continue the engagement when the flamethrower comes online, otherwise you'll lose that unit. But when you 2v1 with the Molotovs like that, you can just get the pin so quickly that the enemy unit can't do anything about it. Meanwhile, on the top side, another VK coming up to help push back the guards here. One of them very low, the other one down to 8 men. Looks like AT gun, Avto coming in there to support. He's also brought up another F-22 as an artillery piece to help support potentially a push towards that top side. Struggling to really get a solid foothold on the bottom.
Yeah, he's grabbing flag. I mean, keeping at least that 13-11 through phase A is a big deal because it starts the tick he badly needs, and we're about to hit B phase. So this is where, you know, Insha's got to turn it on then, and really make some progress, because obviously that's when his income happens. And on a map like this, obviously that balance player is significantly favored in any sort of long game, even more so than the usual favoring it has.
Yeah, so that's why we see Gonzo on balance today, is because of this river that goes through the center of this map. We didn't really talk about it much, but yeah, that's the reasoning for Gonzo's balanced here, because the river is a natural barricade to fast play. It basically stops vehicles from getting through the map quickly because they get funneled through the bridges, and that makes them very vulnerable to AT and just generally being picked off. So you have to kind of gain ground using infantry across the rivers and then pull your stuff across afterwards. And that is much slower, and therefore you have more time in the match, and therefore it's much more likely Gonzo is going to get to his late game income when Insha's on 80 points per minute.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing with Krupa specifically, there's only 3 natural areas to attack. So it's really easy to kind of defend those spots, because with only 3 bridges, those are the only places you can bring across any sort of vehicle or anything. So it's very easy to kind of contain breakouts because you don't need that much to defend a bridge. So it makes it very hard to like constantly attack different places like Maverick usually would, where they have overwhelming income. You can attack multiple areas. You can't really do that in Krupa very effectively.
I tell you what Insha needs to do. He just needs to go straight down the middle. Just plow it in here. There's actually really not much there.
Yeah.
But the IS-2 coming in to support on the top side. IS-2 Kamrati. Sniper at the moment managing to just sit out in the open and provide some recon. But the VK might end up spotting that. Not quite. VK on the bottom side, killed off by the 45. Honestly, Insha's done a fantastic job of dealing with these VKs so far. Like 20mm vehicles are usually so annoying to deal with. But the Guards DP, because of their veterancy, the PTRD has actually been very effective. And so have these 45mm with their 3 vet as well. Like the veterancy on this bottom side has been used very, very well by Insha so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the VKs have done a fair bit of damage, but they are dying off, and he only gets 1 card of them. It is actually really important that he kills it. We do see the 3 stars here is a leader, a commander here from Gonzo, something we rarely see in Division 1. Look at 2 battery fears coming in as well. Gonzo like quadrupling down here on leadership down south. The Katusha up north as well. That F-22 is trying to take out this machine gun, but we are seeing, you know, here we go. We are now fully in B phase, and let's see what Insha can do with his income.
So currently an off-map heading to the bottom side. 203mm off-map called in. Strelki on the way with the Sapere. That's going to be a lot of his income invested already for his first couple ticks of this phase. But yeah, Gonzo getting this veterancy down now, I think is like the perfect play because it basically dramatically increases the value of these units without him having to spend more to get value, basically. And so you just see the command step forwards and get deleted.
Well said, Vulcan. We do.
SDK Z71 in the middle, coming in as well to stop the aircraft as well.
Yeah, and I did just notice I didn't even see Insha also as a commander in 2 in the combat further back as well. So this is really odd to see. Not often do we see commanders brought in these days, especially in Division 1. These guys are usually just pedal to the metal, don't have 110 points to waste on a commander, but both players here bringing them in, which is cool to see. Up north, IS-2 in combat, T-34 down.
Yeah, Marder 3 got a cheeky crew kill there onto the T-34E. And the IS-2 is going to miss. No, 35% hit there.
Wow, it's miraculous.
They do miss. The Jagdpanzer are coming in onto the bottom side to help cover that. 2 Hasogo US Shock as well. Some of the Hungarian infantry now coming in alongside these Hazarok. But the infantry on the top side is actually getting pretty thin. So this might give Insha a little bit of a bridgehead here.
Yeah, Insha, I think he's sensing the weakness. We have a whole bunch more troops coming in up north, and Insha has clearly shifted his attack vector here to basically this northern push, which I think is the right play for now, because Gonzo's defense down south is thick. It's thick. Yeah. You ain't getting through that anytime soon.
Just traded with the Su-76 on the very bottom side of the map, and the 45 also went down. So Gonzo actually picking apart some of the units that Insha has invested here, and honestly, Insha might need to be careful of a counterattack.
I was just about to say, side. Yeah. Now this 203 might actually do some good damage. This off map can actually kill things. So if he plops it down in a nice spot, he could definitely really weaken the infantry blobs that Gonzo has there.
Yeah, what I would really like to see is Insha has invested in these F-22s. I think if he smoked the far side of this bridge and just got a lot of Avtos and Sapri and guards into these buildings, he could really start moving his armor across more aggressively and get a really good foothold here on the top side.
Yeah, that would be a nice
play
to
really
see.
Smoke that much. It's really weird. It's one of those things that I think players always forget.
Well, yeah, and you know a player's good when they start using smoke, but we don't actually see it a lot in Division 1. I don't know why.
I think it's just because the micro is quite intense already. And so, yeah, like I say, players just kind of forget about it. But ME410 coming in
comes.
For the IS-2 Omrotti. It will struggle to penetrate this in the front armor.
Yeah, ME410s are honestly kind of disappointing. I mean, they're one of the better tank buster planes, I will say that. They're definitely not bad. But especially, yeah, from front armor, it technically really can't pen this thing.
Yeah, only the last shot, I think, has a chance to get through that armor when it's really close. But he otherwise needs to find a side shot. There is no AA here to stop him coming around for a second run. There are a couple of IL-2s hanging about, which I think Insha brought in as his anti-air, but he can't use the 37s on the ME410, so I don't think that was a good choice. Yak 1B, yeah, now coming in. That will certainly force the ME410 to be careful, but I think all Gonzo's going to do, try and get that Yak 1B forced back by AA. Also, HE111 coming in with the 2 1,000 kilogram bombs onto this top side. Here we go. Yak's coming in to intercept. We'll probably get on the back of it and kill it off.
Not if these 20 mils.
Yeah, the 20 mils might save it.
You have to remember, though, Yak 1Bs are so lightly armed. This HE111 has very good resilience. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, nice micro from Gonzo as well. He purposefully kept turning it, so the Yak 1B couldn't quite get on target there. And the bombs didn't really do too much, to be honest. Just kind of pinned down a couple units. I think that Yak 1B coming back round for another go, but that's a bit of a mistake there from Insha. Gets it shot down. Should have not committed that.
Down south.
On the bottom side, meanwhile, we got off the map coming in.
203 here comes now. Gonzo, though, in position with Panzer 3 and T-34 on this forest line here. So Insha can, not put any troops there at this point. Here comes the 203, but unfortunately, a lot of troops have moved out. Right, Jaeger does go down, so kudos to that 203, but I don't see a lot of damage happening here.
Yeah, I feel like the placement there was a bit weird. Like, half of the shots are over the river.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been better if it was sort of covering that tree line on the bottom side and also where the T-34 and Panzer III are on the top side.
Yeah, just
that,
covering
like,
the
road.
whole town, essentially.
Yeah, definitely would have been way better placement. That was a bit off, for sure. T-34, or Inch is trying to sneak on it with the IS-2 on the top side. Guards here were under fire, giving away the position of that IS-2, or sorry, T-34. But the ME-410 still hanging about. It's going to come in for another strike. 37 mil AA is now on the field now.
We just saw a second IS-2 miss. I feel bad for Insha now because now he's just getting unlucky. Based on what we usually see, finally we have some 37 mil here, so that will force that up. What is has the Katyusha fired? Like, what is it fired at? I don't really see. Like, we just have
potentially where the Pack 40 is on the top side there.
We just kind of missed it, unfortunately. HE-111 coming in again with its 1,000 kilogram bomb.
They did have two, it just only dropped one because of the pin.
Oh, is that okay? IS-2 taking more damage though. That thing can't take that kind of fire forever. Down south, Avto's back into the forest. 203 doing what it needs to do to get him back in there. The armor has gone down. T-34 died. The Panther III has been pushed back. Strafniki though losing their fight against the Hosagoro Shotoshocks there, so unfortunate for that.
The Strafniki getting absolutely burned by the Panzergran MG42s. And the Separi got wrecked on the very bottom side there. That was really nasty. Some more Hosagoro Shotoshok coming in. We only have 35 seconds till phase C. VK currently doing okay on the top side, killing off some Avtos. Insha hasn't found that 15-9, and that is a big problem.
Yeah, I don't even think he's kept a 13-11 throughout B phase here. So that's definitely going to catch up to him here. But he still has time. I mean, you definitely very much have the advantage for the first 4 or 5 minutes of C phase. And that's actually, I think, the most dangerous time for a balanced player is those 3 to 4 minutes after B phase when you haven't actually gotten all your your income really hasn't caught up and you haven't even gotten most of those troops in. IL-237 coming in, going for the bombing strikes here. MG42 survives because it's falling back.
Oh, yeah, and it's only 50 kilogram bombs.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not the most reliable. It looks like a second off map hit this bottom side and maybe killed off the T-34.
It did. Yeah, it did. So
yeah, so let's see if the pack of the 45 mil. I don't know. I keep calling them packs. It's just 45 mil. if it kills the Panzer III, it
there
does.
it is.
So Gonzo is losing units here, slowly but surely on the bottom side.
Yeah, this Avto versus the Husagoro Shotoshok here actually might be the only fight this Avto can actually win. But it is triple star, so maybe not.
I mean, the numbers of rifles from the Hosagoro Shotoshok might be enough, but it just depends on the pin, I think.
It's getting help from the Strafniki there.
Slafs on the bottom side. Hosagoro Shotoshok engagement over the river again. Anytime that Gonzo is keeping these units from crossing, it's actually great. And he's now got Stostrup coming in, so he must have a phase C card of Stostrup maybe for close range engagements.
Seems odd. Strafniki just got shot out trying to cross the bridge. Bid lost there. Not that it's dead, but it lost half its numbers, so now it's a normal infantry squad that's getting absolutely wrecked. This Pack 40 covering off the bridge completely. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Insha went Maverick. I really am. This map just punishes Maverick so hard.
Yeah, I think with this map, from playing it in rank, it really comes down to your opener, as a Maverick player.
Absolutely.
If you can get across the bridge, any one of the bridges at the start, and get a foothold there, then you're in a good spot. Nice Katyusha coming in on the top side. Does kill off the Pack 40 that was left on 1 health. And it's going to pin down a lot of these units. Yeah, nice Grenfear kill there as well. That's really important. It takes away a lot of the veterancy. Definitely going to give Insha a better chance with his Avtos. But the T-34 and the Marder 3 moving in there, it's going to be pretty rough to deal with. The Marder 3 is such a nice unit because it has both HE and a machine gun. So can pin down and kill infantry very quickly.
It's so good. And it's only 35 points. It's one of the most efficient units in the game. If your division has these, always play them. They're absolutely insane. They have 130 millimeters of penetration. It's pretty nuts. We do see another 203 up here as well. So Insha had called in both of them. We see an IS-2 1944 up north as well. Wow. Down south, HE-111 gets forced off by the 37 mil. Surprised it did not get in range to drop a bomb somewhere.
3-star vulnerability. He's got plenty of time on target there. Might even kill it.
That's true. I forgot the 3
very,
stars here.
Very low. Is it going to go down? Last shot? No, not quite. Not quite. But yeah, huge investment on the top side, like you say, with the IS-2 1944 coming in off map. It looks like he's trying to double down for this push here with the remainder of his excess Maverick points and try and catch out Gonzo. Like you said, more or less their weakest point is like the 20-minute mark, right? When the Maverick player has all of their income and Gonzo hasn't got any of his back yet.
Yeah, it's the scariest moment. I can tell you because I play balance all the time, and usually I'm playing up against Maverick. You know, I can have a whole B phase that goes fantastic, and like I hit the C phase, and I'm like, I've made it, and then all of a sudden, it's just like everything just falls apart. Like in that moment.
The tidal wave.
Yeah.
The tidal wave comes in. Yeah, it's like the tide's going out, and you're like, oh, everything's fine. And then the fucking storm surge comes back and smacks you in the face.
Yeah, and you're just like, you think you've made it, and then it's just like, you're like, you didn't trade well enough, you didn't actually kill many of their units, you just held them off, and then it's just like, you get absolutely spanked. So Insha still in that time frame, he still has a good chance here. He's capturing this flag down south, so that's good. He wants to kind of hold that. Disappointing, again, to not see him push the middle hard, but it looks like now Gonzo might do that instead.
Yeah, this is the one place that Insha didn't probe with his infantry. Like he probed sort of like the mid top and the very top, and then chose to attack the top right after that. He didn't ever check the mid. Yeah, which is interesting.
And the weird thing is he could have done really well in the middle. An IS-2 right there before the bridge can cover off that entire hill, and then you just kind of pour infantry in from there.
Yep.
So kind of disappointing.
The other thing was like I said, smoke. Just smoking the top side, flooding into these town buildings, getting a nice foothold there, pushing the IS-2s across aggressively. At close range, they're going to demolish most of what Gonzo has. Like, there isn't really much other than maybe Panzerschrecks that you really have to be worried about at close range. So, yeah, I think that would have been a good play as well. ME410 did come in on the bottom side. Looks like to kill the T-34. Going to get caught out by that 37mm AA as well. OB-25, not going to face off against the Jagdpanzer. Pulls it back. HE-111 coming in for the bombing strike there. Not much AA in the middle.
Not a lot of AA just at all. There's just really just two 37mm, one down south, and now the one down south is getting hit by the 81mm mortar, and it's got radio, so he definitely needs to make sure he keeps that thing moving. He is trying to micro it right now, but unfortunately he's moving back into the mortar shells, which is kind of unfortunate. It's bad luck.
Yeah, did Gonzo like predict the move here?
No, that was actually, for some reason, Insha moved it forward and then moved it back over the area he just was. So this was,
okay.
Yeah, that was just kind of a little micro mistake there by Insha. Up north, Katusha firing at the SDK of Z71. It does get the kill. Very nice. Nice to see Katusha working out. It often doesn't.
Yeah, when these rockets do hit, they can do damage, but it's just the dispersion is so like luck of the draw. So in this case, yeah, SDK Z7 going down. Good investment in this Katusha. It's actually done damage. It's got a Pack 40 kill. It's got an SDK Z7 1 kill now, and it also got the gun fitter earlier. So like that's actually paying itself off almost. I mean, if you don't include the supply.
Now we do see an incredible 203 off map up north. Look at, oh my god, this might be one of the greatest off maps we've ever seen. There's Martyr. There's Martyr
and the
ones.
worst part about this is, yeah, all of this stuff is open top on the T-34. So one shot lands on this Martyr 1, one shot lands on this Martyr 3. Like they're just gone. Like it's as simple as that.
Down south,
this is gonna be juicy.
Down south, Gonzo making a push. I'm gonna go back up here to watch this, but something is happening down south while we watch this incredible fireworks show.
Yeah, he's got Grenadier DPs trying to push across the bridge there, but here we go with the off map. Will it hit the targets it needs to? Flak.
Oh, 2 flaks down.
The flak's going down. Okay, is it going to hit any of these tanks? So far, it's not hitting really. Oh, almost killed the Martyr 3.
Right, Jaeger goes down.
Oh,
Wow, that was disappointing. For how fabulously placed that was really disappointing.
That could have been so good.
Yeah.
If like a shot had landed on any of those martyrs, it would have died. Unfortunately, it landed like slightly in front of one of the martyrs, which means it hits the front armor and therefore doesn't do as much.
Yeah.
That's not ideal. But yeah, here comes the push on the bottom side for Gonzo. He is certainly starting to rip as these Hasago Shock and Gren DPs push forwards onto this tree line. The Panzer III supporting them. T-34 trying to hold back the Hasago Shock. 81mm mortar though coming in for support with Gonzo. Gonna try and force this T-34E out of position. Might end up killing the Superdiox by accident as well. Also a push from Gonzo coming through on the mid, following up on that bombing strike.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the points now. Now he has a very solid point lead in terms of even just the number of points he's been able to call in, and I think he's been trading pretty well as well. So Insha slowly falling behind here, and he's about to lose his flag in the center, so Gonzo will pick up his first 13-11 of the game, and there it is. His T-34E is key to surviving this push down south. He doesn't want it to poke too far out. What's it doing? Why is it not shooting at any? Oh, it has no eyes. No one can see this. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's blind, basically.
Oh, no.
It's a blind T-34. The Panzer III finally fired enough. The Jagdpanzer got close enough.
Oh.
But that T-34 is in a terrible position. Going to get taken out by the Panzer III. Jagdpanzer's going to try and take out the T-34 as well. Gonzo just really going into full balanced mode in the late game here and starting to really steamroll forwards through what will be lighter defenses of Insha. Yeah, the time has come, unfortunately, and Insha didn't really find any value. Like on this top side, these two IS-2s really didn't do anything at all. Yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah, they really, and I don't think, it was definitely not all Insha's fault. He got some bad RNG this game. That off-map did not land well. Those IS-2s missed several times. Actually, their accuracy on the card was real for once. They missed. You know, and I mean, Insha, he still has a chance because he does have the points. If he can hold Gonzo to a 13-11, he has to survive 20 minutes. There's a chance, and he can. These holds in the middle are very soft, to say the least. So he might be able to push back in.
Yeah. So that would be the only way that Insha can win at this point, like you say.
Yeah.
Is if he holds off Gonzo long enough. But I'm pretty sure on a single tick, after 20 minutes, Gonzo will be ahead on tickets.
He will. Yeah. It's but like I said, if he can re-grab this middle flag and stop this southern push, he could get it back to a 12-12. And I mean, we'll see. There's a lot of troops coming, though. There's Grenadier DP just being thrown into the meat grinder, Soviet style, for the Germans.
Yeah. Insha now committing the IS-2 forwards here. She sent the 203 across the bridge. IS-2 finally hitting a shot on a martyr. Is this 3 going to be going down in the middle, increasing the salient for Gonzo? Not going to quite capture him a flag.
Insha capturing that northern flag, actually, finally, after all of this. He finally captured it. For the moment.
Yep. But this pressure on the bottom side is pretty rough right now. Oh, nice side shot there from this 3.
Just saw that too.
Panzer won't be able to kill it in the front armor, unfortunately. Might be able to kill the Panzer III, though.
It's very stressed, though. It's going to miss most of the time. Oh, wow!
Oh. Okay, never mind. I take it back.
That's what we get. Yep, that's what we get. Casting. Caster curse.
That was the most pinned Zis 3 that managed to accurately hit the Hetzer and penetrate its frontal armor. That must have been crazy low chances.
Yeah, I do. I experience that with Hetzers a lot. Like they have 105 millimeters of armor. I feel like they get penned by things that should have no business penning them all the time.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Katusha firing from the other end of the map down south, so that was fun. Did pin stuff down. Of course, it really didn't kill anything at that range.
IS-2 has shifted down from the very top side. What happened to the IS-2
leader
up north?
It appears to have died.
I'm trying to figure out where it died.
Is that it smoking there?
Maybe it got caught up by the martyr?
Yeah, it must have. Right Jaegers in the forest, though, pushing that off. Here comes the ME-410. Failed to penetrate again. Tu-2F, not going to threaten that, though. Strafniki down south are actually, like, out of ammo here, running out of machine gun. Oh, wait, no, it's not machine gun. What are they running out of ammo for? Oh, the
Yeah,
actual
rifles.
rifles. Yeah, rifles. That's the last thing I look at.
And the Mozin's low on ammo there. But yeah, Gonzo managing to get a little bit of a bridgehead here with the Grenadiers. Trying to get the Panzer III across now. In the middle, Hasa Goryosodashok and the Hazarok really don't want to show their selves against the IS-2. That's a very precarious position that he's got right there. OB-25 looking to come up clutch on the top. Oh, missing the heat round onto the Marder 1. ME-410 in the meantime getting another clean run onto the IS-2. Actually finding a transmission damage, which is really irritating for an IS-2 because it makes them so slow.
Oh my god, yes. Yeah, it's not that you've taken it out of action, but you have basically kneecapped its ability to ever go anywhere else. It's basically in the middle now for the rest of the game.
Yeah, Marder 1 finally went down on the top, but this bottom side salient is slowly but surely growing. And more infantry flooding in. Every tick, the 155 points, it's just getting worse and worse for Insha to deal with.
Double HE-111 here, one with 8 250s, and here comes the 2 1000s. The 1000s do get off. Will that kill off this IS-2 is the question. Oh, I just saw a big...
1000s were clean.
All right.
Oh, not close enough, though. Not close enough.
Now, we do say a Moso 210. Oh, and Insha throws the Talon just so we see some big arty out of Harteneck. Sad face.
Yeah, the Morsas coming on the field there. But 33 minutes, 59 seconds. Insha surrendering that one, giving the victory to Gonzo. 2,335 kills, 2,090 losses.
Not bad.
A nice try.
Yeah,
a nice try by Insha.
Yeah, not bad.
But he was on a time limit and it didn't work out, basically.
Yeah, I actually think 84th is a good choice against Harteneck because, again, Harteneck is really lacking in ways to kill super heavy armor, and it has bad AA, and you have IL-2s and you have IS-2s in 84th, and you have some solid infantry. You get Strafnikis and the Rocks and things, so you have some good choices there in that division to counter Harteneck. So I definitely think that was an Insha counter pick and a good one. I'm not a fan of Maverick on Krupa. I think he could have gradually played much slower and potentially ground out Gonzo using those two tools that we just talked about now to win that long game instead of going Maverick.
Yeah, and it's great from obviously a caster position, we can see the entire map, but I would have liked to have seen at least one infantry squad try and push the mid, or some sort of recon move forwards and have a look there just in case. Because it is quite actually common for the mid to not be well defended on that map. From what I've seen when I've been playing it, quite often it's just one AT gun and an infantry squad there.
Oh yeah, I've lost several games on that map from someone just absolutely blowing out the center, and then then you can go both directions. It's really hard to contain. That's the only breakout that's hard to contain because it can go in either direction. So yeah, it definitely disappointing to see him not do it. If we hop over the kills here, though, we see that IL-2 doing some major damage there. So really nice use of those. I actually really like those. The ability to use them in both ways with the bombs and the AT rifles, guns is really cool. Anything at Katusha? Look at that thing go. Best Katusha I've ever seen. 203 doing some nice damage. So the off map wasn't, point wise, actually did get its points back, which is not, you can't say that often. So not terrible out of Insha at all, trade-wise.
Yep, and losses, well, Gonzo's you get really, really performing well with those MP44s and the Molotovs. It's a beautiful combination. One of the VKs actually got quite a lot of infantry kills, but many of the other ones getting picked off. I think early on, Insha dealing with those VKs was generally good. That one obviously there is an exception to the majority. Hazuko Sodoshock again, really nice for these sort of river engagements. If they're catching out infantry that's trying to cross a river, those triple machine guns are going to mow them down very fast. What a clutch Panzer III as well, double T-34 kill.
Ooh,
beautiful stuff.
Those are awesome.
Otherwise, the Jagdpanzers didn't really do too much. The bombers weren't as effective as I would have liked them to be.
I think Gonzo. Yeah, I think Gonzo just aimed them at IS-2s. I think that's why. We saw at least 2 runs go after IS-2s, and I think there was at least a third run going after IS-2s. So I think their lack of kills is generally in the fact that Gonzo is using them as AT guns instead of bombers, really.
Yeah, and they failed to get those kills. So I mean, it didn't really matter in the end because I don't think Insha really utilized his IS2s very well in this game. I think Smoke would have been so good in this scenario. And using the IS2s at close range would have been also very nice. Like if you keep it recon with them, you're not going to get flanked that easily, especially by units like Martyrs and stuff like that, because they need to turn before they fire, generally speaking. So I think there was definitely opportunity here for Insha if he was a bit more aggressive even than he was trying to be. But yeah, Gonzo held on and played it very well.
Which he always does.
Yeah.
Just one of those
Anything else you'd
things.
like to add?
No, if you're still here, you're a champ, and you should definitely hit that like and subscribe button because you even survived our little conversation at the end, which most people don't. So good for you.
All right, well, that's it. If you guys have enjoyed it, we'll be moving on to game 4 since it's 2-1 to Gonzo now in this best of 5. Have to see if Gonzo can finish things off or if Insha can bring one back and send us to game 5. That would be cool. But that's it. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you later.